Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have the tier list to make today. Guys, at the end of the day, this is always just my opinion. This is my opinion based off of cards that are meta, but also cards that are unique in their own way in regards to price range and usability in game, and just people making different types of squads and whatnot, right? So we're gonna get started with the first two cards that we actually didn't end up reviewing, but it's pretty obvious what they're going to be like in game, Acuna is the first card to work with. Guys, Acuna for 170 something K is a fantastic price range, because Acuna was one of those cards that in the beginning of the year was really solid to work with, because he has all the right attributes to be a very strong attacking and defensive oriented player. Mainly defensive oriented, I would say, but obviously if you do get into the attacking areas, the fact that he does have the shot power and long shots is definitely a very, very helpful thing to work with. But take a look at this card on the anchor chemistry style, right? He's going to have near enough perfect pace, near enough perfect defense, and near enough perfect physical, which is by default absolutely fantastic. But not only that, he's got 99 for stamina at a high for work rate at a stocky body type. Yes, the player is shorter, but we're talking about a physical monster on the pitch. For me personally, a card like this you use, I would say, mainly as like a left back in your team, as a left center defensive mid, as a person who plays in a left center mid position for a 4-1-2-2, but he's the stay back while attacking center mid while you have the attacking oriented one next to him, right? I feel like that's going to be the best balance when it comes to a card like this, because I haven't seen him being used too often, I guess because of the links, because mainly people would have to probably get the Kounde card to get the link with him, which isn't really that expensive to work with, and people don't really use different squads that often. But the Acuna card is definitely a very, very nice card. I think for a fullback in this game, I would definitely consider him an A tier card for sure. I don't think he's going to be at an S tier, obviously, but definitely very close. By the ways, the difference between S and A tier for some of the cards is going to be very, very close, I would say. I think that's going to come down to personal opinion, but there are some cards that I just think are very, very obvious S tiers that I would just put them up there immediately. There's going to be a lot of A tiers because the team of the season has been really good, to be fair, right? Next up we have is the David Alaba card. So David Alaba, let's take a look at this bad boy. So people were talking to me about David Alaba on stream because he is a very interesting card, because it's a card, guys, that already has defensive stats, right? So this card on a Hunter chemistry style, he kind of reminds me of a Joao Felix card, right? So with Joao Felix card, he already has the base defending stats. So because he already has the base defending stats, you can focus on giving him some other things. So a card like this is actually really perfect to work with, because you can actually start off your team in a 5-back formation, start him off with near enough perfect pace, fantastic shooting capabilities, and use him as your attacking oriented center mid. You can use him as your left mid in a team, right? Because he's a left-footed player with a 4-star weak foot at an 87 for stamina. The stamina part is definitely going to be the part that's going to mess with the card a little bit, I would say, but obviously in the midfield position, playing that left mid area could definitely be very, very ideal for a card like this. But I definitely see him mainly being played as one of your 2 CDMs, one of your 2 center mids in a formation, or one of your 3 midfielders, mostly on the stay back while attacking, because he'll kind of act against it anyways, but you could definitely use them as the attacking oriented one too. Attacking oriented center mids, guys, it's usually way better to have players that are actual attackers, right? Some players actually have defensive capabilities but can attack really well. I'll give you guys a really good example. Isco's high work rates, you can use them as a midfielder in a 3 midfield setup and use him as the attacking oriented one, and I guarantee you he's going to be an absolute monster there, right? So that's just an example that you could definitely work with when it comes to the cards. Now, obviously, the thing that will stray away from the meta of the game is the medium work rates, but I mean, in his case, he still looks like a very, very solid card. 155k, you genuinely cannot go wrong with it. I think in his case, we're going to put him at a B tier because yeah, I would say this one's like a really close one between a B and an A tier. I really like the way that Acuna is, because he's essentially perfect at everything. But the thing is that with David Alaba's card, you don't necessarily need to boost the defending on the card, but the physical you do. So it's one of those situations where, like, do you just give him an anchored chemistry style and you work with that pace? But then the pace is not like super high up there, right? So You don't need to give him the physical boost because, to be honest, the fact that he has the 5'11 height at an average body type is fantastic. But regardless, you know, I think most people would actually give him the Hunter, yeah, because of the way that they would actually use him in the team. So as a midfielder, guys, I still think he's definitely very good. But medium work rates does stray away from the meta of the game. Like, you have to be like an Nkunku to be like really nice. But does he have like shooting traits? Long shot taker. Yeah, this one I might look into a little bit afterwards. I might look a little bit into this one. Ansu Fati, the next card here. So Ansu Fati was the gameplay objective card. I actually used this card for the 4-2-3-1 instruction video, the tactic video. If you guys haven't checked it out, be sure to do so. This card, in my opinion, is the best Ansu Fati card we've had in any FIFA, but I wish they gave him 5-star skills, because honestly, the way that this card is formatted was perfect for what you pretty much needed in this game, right? So he's a card that you mainly use in the side positions. You could definitely use him through the middle, but it's better to use him in the side areas for sure. Why? Because pace is already perfect, right? So it's like a Gelson Martin situation. With pace already being perfect and shooting being set up the way that it is, take a look at this card on the Maestro chemistry style, right? Reactions at a 99, shooting is in the high 90s area with great passing capabilities. Now, a lot of people actually wanted to give this card a marksman chemistry style too, which would not be a bad choice either. But for me personally, I really feel like when you boost the reactions of the card to be at a 99, it's definitely very nice to work with the high shooting, the high passing capabilities, the physical capabilities being there as well. Definitely a very solid card. The only thing that he was genuinely missing, in my opinion, was the 5-star skills, because his 5'10" height at a unique body type makes him feel explosive in game. And that explosiveness with the pace, you know, by default being at a 99 for both, I think was a very important thing. So guys, when you take a look at this tier list, don't worry about the top three. The top three is like they're I would say that these two right here are very close to each other, but the S tier is going to be like obvious cards that I was just like, you know what I'm saying, about, like, I think they're really nice. But yeah, definitely put him at the B tier as well. Ansu Fati was a really good card. If they gave him the 5-star skills, ooh, that's what would make me want to put him at the A tier, you know, because I would honestly put him S tier with the 5-star skills. So I'm going to leave him here for now, because I think the 5-star would literally bring him up to here. I'm not going to lie to you guys, because a 5-star would be incredible on him. Imagine, like, okay, you know how we reviewed the Rodrygo card, right? I think that if Ansu Fati got the 5-star skills, would be crazy. It really would be. But yeah, we'll keep him at the B tier for now as well. We'll be taking a look at it afterwards. Araujo's card. So Araujo was a card that has been improved to be good enough in the meta of the game, obviously. But he wasn't like crazy special, you know? No, he wasn't like crazy special, but they definitely improved him to be a really good player to use in this game, because obviously in his case, with the pace boost, you know, you boosting the defense to be as perfect as possible while working with fantastic physical capabilities, the card was definitely nice to work with. On the ball, dribbling was noticeable. Off the ball stuff, I felt like he defended really well for me. To be honest with you, wasn't a bad player to use at all. I would say though that he did have more moments, you know, and honestly, like, full meta cards have their moments too in FIFA, because it's FIFA, right? But this card definitely had its moments sometimes when it came to defending on the pitch. But like I said, I think for the price range of the card being at a 50k, you know, a card that gives you those Barcelona links, you genuinely cannot go wrong with Araujo in this game either. Definitely a card that I would also put at the B tier, right? So very good stuff there. Next up we have is going to be Karim Benzema. You guys know what I'm going to say about Benzema's card, okay? You know what I'm going to say about Benzema's card. Listen to what I'm going to say, all right? I like his high-medium work rates. I really do. I do like his high-medium work rates, but his high-medium work rates makes him play realistic Benzema, right? So the way that he plays in real life, drops into the midfield, pushes forward, you know, selectively chooses his runs and stuff, and that's great. You know, the fact that he has that is fantastic. I'm not going to say that it isn't, because the high medium work rate is definitely a welcome inclusion on the card compared to the medium, in my opinion. This card with the 5-star weak foot and both of the shooting traits was great to work with. If you guys watched the review, we were scoring some fantastic goals with him because of the fact that he doesn't feel like he has limits on the card, because those two traits that he has allows you to score multiple opportunities. Because listen, you give this bad boy an engine chemistry style, you boost his balance and agility as much as possible with his passing and his pace. Absolutely fantastic. Now, listen to what I'm going to say. You guys might not like me on this one, all right? I'm gonna put him at the A tier, right? I gotta put him at the A tier. I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna put him at the A tier, okay? Because you guys know what I'm about to say. If they gave him a high-low work rate, this card would not be S tier. He would be S plus tier, bro. I'm telling you, because guys, listen, okay? People always ask me, why do you still use a flashback Benzema in the game? Because flashback Benzema's high-low work rate is one of the best, if not the best attacking AI in the game. And if they gave him that high-low work rate, he would have been unbelievable. I still think the card is absolutely crazy. Love the high medium work rate, but for the meta of this game, pushing that defense back as much as possible and just push forward, come back, push forward, come back, like really quickly, the high-low work rate on the flashback card is, you know, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, right? So for me, I'm putting him at an A tier, okay? For me, I'm sorry guys, I'm putting him at an A tier because if they gave him that high-low work rate, it wouldn't even be here. It would be all the way up here, okay? People are gonna watch this video and be like, oh, so Inception would go up 2 levels. He would go up 2 levels, not 1. You know, because the guys are like, yo, Benzema's an S tier Inception. What are you saying, bro? But I'm passionate about his high-low, okay? His high-low is just, on the flashback, it was incredible. But guys, the Benzema card's still very good. I loved using him, but there was moments in game where I was like, if he had that high-low, this card would be one of my favorites in this game. 100%, bro. 100%. Next up, we have is the Sergio Canales card. This is a not SBC, excuse me, a W transfer market card. The reason why he's a W transfer market card is because this card is 48k for a card that you can sell whenever you want. He's literally fodder, okay? It's funny because he's fodder, and technically I can put him into the fodder category. I definitely could because he's actually been using fodder recently. But guys, this card is awesome. He really is, man. I really enjoyed using him. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. I enjoyed this card more than the Lemar card, to be honest with you, okay? This card on an anchor chemistry style was a monster to work with in the midfield position. He was a monster to work with in that left mid, right mid area for a 3 at the back formation. I thought he was amazing to work with. I genuinely really like this card. And I think that this card being at a 48k for transfer market value is incredibly fair value, especially since they've been releasing so many different cards. Like Sergio Canales only needs 1 green link. You get a flashback Isco, boom, there's your green link just like that. And it's such a great card to just put into your team for whatever reason. Like let's just say, for instance, I have the Thomas Lemar card, right? I'm pretty sure his name is Thomas. I have the Lemar card, right? And I have him playing in the midfield, and I have like an Acuna next to him. Boom, I put Canales in the team. I can now put Lemar off to the side position, Canales playing right through the middle next to Acuna, and it'd be a great combination to work with. I really like this card. You guys know that when I reviewed the Showdown, I didn't check out the upgraded version, although I did try, and I was like, this card has a lot of potential. I think he's definitely very good. Great for the price range and stuff. Like I said, guys, these two, not a big step between each other, but we're going to put Canales at the B tier as well, because like I said, a very solid card. So all of these cards so far are very nice. I like all of them for their own reasons, right? Courtois. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm putting Courtois at the A tier, bro. This guy is hard to score against, okay? He really is. I don't know if you guys have experience with this card and using him in your team or whatever it is, but I'm telling you, bro, I played against him in 3 different games, and I'm taking high percentage strikes, and this guy is saving all of these opportunities. And I'm like, what is going on? Which goalkeeper does this guy have? And it's always Courtois. Now, with goalkeepers, guys, I will say that it is always random. You know, I could say that Courtois is really good, and then somebody else could be like, yo, Courtois is the worst, okay? For me personally, I don't know, man. This team of the season, Courtois, for some reason, he just does the thing, bro. I'm telling you, like, I face off against him, and you know, maybe it's one of those things where I face him and he just saves every opportunity against me, but then he's in my team and then he lets everything in. Who knows, bro? I don't know. But yeah, with Courtois, I put him at the A tier because, like I said, I faced him a few times, and I get astounded. I'm like, I don't know what's happening right now. This guy's just saving everything. Next up is the Danjuma card. So Danjuma, guys. So here's what I'm going to say about Danjuma, okay? Danjuma is an SBC for 151k. I didn't think it was too bad, to be honest with you guys. I think it was incredibly fair value in game, because what he is, right, is that he is essentially a better version of Nedved. You know how like Nedved what Nedved should feel like on his icon moments card is what this Danjuma is, okay? His shooting was actually really solid. I scored a lot of goals with his weak foot, and he did a really solid job for me. Definitely a card that you mainly use in the side position. Like if you're using that 3-back formation or a 4-back or a 4-2-3-1, whatever it is, this is a card that you want to use in the side areas as much as possible. I don't necessarily recommend him in a 4-2-3-1 as much as an actual wide formation. So for me, I personally prefer to have players that feel a little bit more explosive. But if you were to play him there, I wouldn't be against it. It's one of those types of situations because this card for me, you know, you give him a marksman chemistry style, he's just very solid. I really enjoyed using him in the team. I thought he actually contributed quite a bit. You know, he's got the right stamina. His average body type is noticeable, but you work with it in those side areas because it's not terrible because of the fact that he has that 5-star weak foot. The 5-star weak foot, guys, is a little bit of a voice crack there, is really, really good to work with. I wish his pace was a little bit higher. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do wish his pace was a little bit higher. Like I know it's at 97, 96, but in this game, guys, these guys have 99, 99 for both nowadays with a shadow or an anchor, right? So having players that are as fast as possible against these fullbacks, I do feel like is super ideal. But this card was still a good SBC in my opinion. I think the value at 150k for someone that gives you those Villarreal links, those Dutch links, and the 5-star weak foot was really, really cool. I faced him sometimes against certain players using him in that side area, and he was actually doing a really good job. Like playing on that left side with that 5-star weak foot and then having that strong foot to cut inside and potentially go for a finesse shot is pretty cool, right? So definitely put him at the B tier as well. Very, very solid card. De Tomas, fodder. We don't really have to look at that too much. Eder Militao. I think Eder Militao is definitely an A tier or close to an S tier. The only reason why I don't put Eder Militao at an S tier is only because I would say, and when I say S tier, I mean cards that I like, honestly, I absolutely love. I think Eder Militao is not S tier just because of work rates, but like that's a stretch at the same time, you know, because I don't mind his medium. I thought he defended really well. AI-wise, I felt like he saved my life on multiple occasions. I'm going to put him at the S tier. Yeah, I'm going to do that because honestly, I actually really liked the card. I liked him. Defensive AI-wise, there was multiple moments when we reviewed him where he just saved my life. Like defensive AI-wise, he just felt so agile to move into the attackers so quickly, right? Because this card, guys, with his lean body type, you don't care about the lean body type because his base card stats for physical is so high that when you give a card like this a shadow chemistry style, everything bounces off of it so nice. He's got the passing, he's got the dribbling. Cards like this, they're just amazing to use as like a right center back, you know, like in a 3-back formation or as one of your 2 center backs, of course, as well. Definitely super, super ideal. I personally really like the Eder Militao card. Some people ended up packing him and enjoyed him as well. Some people didn't, but it depends because some people look for, like when they look at full meta cards, and yeah, I'm going to go back to these bad boys because these guys are still definitely full meta cards. Like I say that with absolute certainty. This card has animations, bro. I don't know what to tell you. His animation choices are crazy, okay? But because this card is a high and average body type, that body type makes a really, really big difference when it comes to defensive animations with fantastic physical capabilities, right? So, some people would be like, oh, the lean body type will affect them sometimes. But for me, dude, it's like gameplay compensator FC, right? If your gameplay is not up to par, a card like that will compensate for you like crazy, okay? Next up, we have Fekir. Guys, Fekir's card, it was interesting for me, okay? Fekir's card, I liked a lot, you know? I really do. I really did like him a lot. I didn't like him as much as I did in the beginning of the year. For instance, the thing that I always talk to you guys about was, you know, with Fekir, I always felt like it was him and Team of the Season Foden that were the types of cards that I really needed in that cam position. But then as time passed by, maybe it's because of his stocky body type, maybe it's because of the movement, because the movement, I don't know, it didn't hit the same for me like it did on a flashback Isco or even the Team of the Season Foden card. I felt like, because I was a big Fekir guy over the Foden guy because Foden didn't have, I think it was like the weak foot at the time compared to the Fekir card who was a 4-star and actually moved like a monster. This card, it's still good, but it didn't hit the same for me movement wise like the Team of the Season Foden card, right? But when I tell you guys that this card's finesse shots and stuff, okay, whew, his finesse shots are crazy, bro. There's honestly moments where you can white time it and he would still absolutely smack that ball, right? So I still think he's a fantastic card to use nowadays. Absolutely. If you ended up packing him or whatever, definitely a card worth using in the team for sure. But I think for nowadays, I don't know, his movement didn't hit the same for me like it did before. Because I felt like Phil Foden, like right away, it just clicked. With Fekir, I was like, I don't know what this guy's doing sometimes. And I used like 3 different formations to see if he would change. And it just didn't hit the same. And maybe it's because of that stocky body type for the game nowadays. I don't know, man. It's just... It's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. But yeah, I'm going to put him at the B tier as well. Now that I'm looking at this list... I like all of these cards for what it is. I can't put... Nah, Acuna is like very good defender though. Nah, he's really good. I'd put him there, honestly. Yeah, I'd put him there. He's got this nice physical feel to him, you know? I'm not against this list so far. Definitely not against this list so far. Joao Felix, A tier. Absolute A tier for sure, bro, for sure. The reason why this card does not hit the S tier capacity is because, let me tell you guys something, okay? So obviously the S tier is a player that when we're talking about attacking AI stuff, we're talking about consistent all the time, absolute beast, you know? But you guys know, man, this year, Joao Felix and Ronaldo, they weren't hitting for me. I don't know what it was, guys. And I feel like when this game adjustments, I don't know. I can't tell you what it is, okay? I was really disappointed in Joao Felix this year. You know, I was like, medium work rates. I'm like, this guy does not hit for me. And listen, this is completely personal preference based because you guys know me. I'm an attacking AI merchant, right? And he just wasn't hitting for me. And I was like, I know, before I did the review, I was like, please, bro, please have a good medium this time. Or whatever it is that makes your card actually move properly. Oh my goodness, so much better on this card, guys. So much better movement-wise. The 2 things that throws me off is that obviously if he was like a really good high medium, that'd be great. But his medium is awesome. You don't have to work at the, you don't have to look at that too much. Honestly, the team of the season movement, I think, is perfectly fine. Okay, this card now is awesome. 5-star skills, honestly, can't go wrong with it. The main things, okay, with this card, because of the obvious Hawk chemistry style, is the balance part. So his balance with the 5'11" height at a unique body type, you do notice that in game, okay? You do. There was multiple moments where I'm like, oh, this is really annoying to work with, like left stick wise in certain positions. But when you have the 5-star skills, it kind of is your dribbling, you know? L1 Elastico, the McGeady cancel, all that kind of stuff, right? So it's just one of those types of situations. I like the Felix card. I thought he was incredible to use. His shooting came off great. He has the outside foot shot trait, so you genuinely can't go wrong with a card like this. I really enjoyed using him. Like, it was definitely a really great card to use in that striker area. I wish I packed him because he would definitely be very helpful for future reviews, especially since we have the Lemar card now. But yeah, I definitely put him at the A tier. Really enjoyed using him. I thought he was absolutely incredible. Iago Aspas. Iago Aspas, definitely a card I'll put at the B tier as well. Again, all of these B tier cards, guys, I do like all of them. So don't think it's like if I put them at the C tier, then I'm like, you know, it's a little bit like more generic, but you know. But so I don't even know if I'll put anybody at the C tier. I might have to put some of these guys in the C tier. We'll see. But next up we have is, oh, sorry, Iago Aspas. I was about to skip him, guys. My brain is, you know. Iago Aspas, guys. So this SBC was another WSBC in my opinion. Why? Because you give this card an engine chemistry style, right? He's got good pace. His dribbling's in a great area considering the fact that he's a lean body type with a 5'9" height. His passing is in a very good area as well. But not only that, this card has both of the shooting traits, okay? Both of them. Both of the shooting traits. So as an SBC for 154k, for a Spanish player that gives you all of those links, fantastic card. I really enjoyed using him too. I thought he was great. For me personally, I would use him more as like an attacking oriented like center mid with his high work rates, 100%. Left mid, right mid areas for sure because of the high work rates and good pace stats as well with fantastic shooting. So that's how I would personally use him. But if you wanted to use him in the middle, like let's just say for instance, you're using him in the striker position, next to somebody else who has like really good attacking AI, and then you have like Fekir or you have like an Isco as your cam, that would work out perfectly fine and be actually really sick in game. So yeah, WSBC, definitely put him at the B tier as well. I thought he was really good to use. Very solid card. Next up, we have Isco. Guys, listen, let me tell you guys something about the Isco card. Go watch the review. Go watch the tactic video for the 4-2-3-1. this card actually went up in price. Fodder went up. So he was actually 280k when we checked him out for the 4231 video. And I'm telling you guys this right now, this card is S tier. I loved using him, bro. I honestly, this, guys, listen to what I'm going to tell you, okay? Listen, I need that movement. I need that fluidity. I need that football feel when I play this game, okay? Using Isco as a cam, I think he's my new favorite cam this year, okay? Why is he my new favorite cam? Like, listen, I really like the Team of the Season Foden card, although up there in price, Bernardo Silva. Oh, Bernardo Silva's so good. But Isco's card, flashback card. Why is this card good? Let's take a look at some of the stuff in game. Look at his dribbling stats, guys. Mid-90s area. Yes, he has the average body type. Yes, you notice it. I'm not going to say that you don't. But not enough for you to dislike this card at all. You know, Avila was one of those guys where it's like he had an average body type, but I don't know. They gave him some voodoo magic where it's like it didn't even feel like he had an average. Like his average was actually nice for that physical. But this card, guys, because they gave him mid-90s, which was such a good idea, fantastic idea, you give this guy a Hawk chemistry style playing in the cam position, he's a monster, bro. He is a monster. If you guys go watch the 4231 tactic video that we posted, I think right before this one or 2 videos before, oh my goodness, he was scoring all of the goals. He scored 85% of the goals in that formation. My 3-5-2, he was scoring like crazy. My 4-1-2-2, he was scoring like crazy. This card's a monster. The fact that he has the 5-star skills with both of the shooting traits, with shooting stats like this, he's crazy. He's a crazy card, bro. I love this Isco card. They gave him the right work rates at a medium-low. He has medium-low, guys, I'm telling you, in FIFA, there's certain cards that have medium-low. These guys move across the pitch like you will never believe. You know who else has medium-low? You guys know who I'm going to say, bro. You know who I'm going to say. This absolute monster of a card. You see this bad boy with his medium-low? The best cam in the game, okay? It's no different with Isco. Isco, bro, when I was doing the review, the moment I switched, because we use him as striker to test out attacking AI and stuff, right? But the moment I moved him to cam, I was like, oh, this guy's like, he's giving me the football feel right now. My brain, I can feel it. The football feel is right there in my brain, and it felt amazing, okay? So, fantastic card. Absolutely loved him. Definitely an S tier card. Jesus Navas. So, Jesus Navas' card is a gameplay objective. Guys, here's the thing. So Jesus Navas is very underrated. I'm not going to say that, you know, whatever. He's a very underrated card, but I do think that for FIFA right now, it is more ideal to have someone who is taller and offers more of a physical. Now, what you will notice with Navas is where you're talking about an aggressive monster when it comes to running. He's so light on his feet when it comes to like chasing after people that it's fantastic to work with. But I do feel like in the fullback area nowadays, because yeah, technically you can use him as a right mid, but the shooting is not there for you to use him as a right mid. Like if you're going to use him there, it's like me using like a Klaus, right? But I'm going to show you the Klaus card just from the headliners. This Klaus card, right? He's got 76 finishing, 86 for shot power. Navas a little bit shorter, you know, a little bit shorter. So with Klaus, you know, if he gets into an attacking opportunity, it's nice. Navas on the attack will be great for the pace, the dribbling, the defense with the physicality, right? But the shooting will be lacking a little bit. But it's still a good card for what it is. But I think from the comparisons that we're going to be doing here, I'm going to put him at the C tier. I don't think, by the way, his cards that I put into the C tier, I don't think are awful by any means. Definitely all of these cards are good to use for the meta of the game if you use them correctly, right? So it's just one of those types of situations. Kounde, we're putting Kounde at the A tier because they gave him a work rate change and it was awesome. You guys know, man, that this year, every time I compared center backs, I always tell you guys this, I always compare it to Koza at first, but people are like, oh, but you said it Koza wasn't that good. No. Koza, I only compared to the agility part. So I'm like, okay, I have to compare it to another player because people think that I think that Koza is an all-round defender. No, I had to switch to Kounde. Why? Because Kounde is a card that has that agility, okay? He has that explosiveness about him on whatever chemistry style that you want to give. You know, for me, guys, you know how I feel about this game. The lob passes and the through balls, they do be crazy, okay? So that's why I give him a shadow. You know, I give him a shadow because his base card stats for physical is already in a good area. I need you to be as fast as possible. But listen, the work rate change, it wasn't necessarily needed. You know, it wasn't needed because the high on him was actually nice. It's like using the Vardiol card. Like Vardiol's on a high is actually really good. But I do think that the medium high is definitely more meta for sure. I definitely believe that. This card, I definitely put him at the A tier. I thought he was a really, really good defender. Definitely preferred him over the Araujo card 100%, especially with those work rates. And I really enjoyed using him in the team. I thought he was a fantastic center back. Gives you those French links, Sevilla links to Acuna and stuff. You can't go wrong with that, right? Absolutely beast of a card. Lemar. So Lemar was the SBC that we actually reviewed today. So Lemar, I would put him on like the same level as someone like the Sergio Canales card, right? Because of the type of player that you would use. But the thing is, right, is that what you're paying for when it comes to this SBC is links because of him being French while playing in the center mid position, okay? That's the main thing about the Lemar card. So because he's French and he plays in the center mid area, it's the links that you're working with, because comparing to Canales makes no sense when it comes to the links. When it comes to the in-game quality, then it makes a little bit more sense, right? But you're paying for that French link, you're paying for that Atletico Madrid link, and you guys know that there's a bunch of links you can work with just from the French alone. This is a card that is a versatile card. Versatile cards are always my favorite. You guys know I really enjoy using these cards because you can use them however way you want, right? You can give this card an anchor chemistry style. You can give him a shadow chemistry style. You know, his dribbling is a little bit off a little bit. Well, if you're using him as a left mid, right mid, it's not a big deal. You could give him an engine and he already has base card stats for defense there. So for me, with Lemar, definitely going to put him at a B tier as well. Again, very, very solid card. But, you know, the SBC price in comparison to a Canales, like if we're doing like quality to quality, get the Canales card. But if we're doing like link to link, then that's what you're paying for the SBC, right? Especially if you get like your SBC fodders and stuff. I didn't think it was like a crazy card, but it's still a really nice SBC that EA released just in case you need those links in your team. Next up we have is the Luka Modric card. Bro, what I would do if Luka Modric was high medium. I'm gonna listen. If Luka Modric was a high medium work rated card, he would be so nice. I really wish that they gave like, because the thing is, man, is that the winter wild card was already a medium, and then when you see a card like Kounde, you're like, medium high, you know. So I wish that they did the same thing to Modric, but I still think that this Modric card was really fun to play with, okay? Because he's a gameplay compensator, guys. Why is he gameplay compensator? Because if you use a card like this in a 3 midfield setup in a 4-1-2-2 mainly, right, or a 4-3-3 if you use that formation, a card like this that can, you know, have the pace, that has the defense, and, you know, has the shooting, passing, and dribbling with a lean body type, it's just a gameplay compensator like crazy, all right? A very, very good card. Really, really enjoyed using him. I thought he was, honestly, I thought he was awesome to use, right? And the fact, guys, that he has the outside foot shot trait is really, really nice to work with. Passing is absolutely fantastic on the card as well. For me, I'm going to have to put him... honestly, Modric, I would put in between an A and a B. It would be right here, A and a B right between. I'm gonna put him. Do I rate him as much as these guys? Like these guys, I really liked. I don't. It's weird because I wouldn't put Modric here. Over here, it'd be like an in between. It would be like an in between over here for sure. We'll put him at the A tier for now, though. Some of these cards like these cards. Some of these cards here, you can argue in an A tier a little bit. Some. Maybe like 2. You know, maybe like 2. Ansu Fati was great. I really like this card. But yeah, Modric was really sick. Really enjoyed using him. Muniain. Listen, I know that Muniain people wanted the review for this card, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. And you know, you guys can say whatever you want. It's really like it's up to you guys. But I don't know where you guys exist when people say like, oh, like I use this card and you know da. I'm like, where do you exist, bro? I never seen this card one time being used. Not even one time. Where do you exist? I don't know where you exist. To be fair, this card, if they released as an SBC and they gave him stats where, you know, you'd probably give him like a Hawk chemistry style and then his dribbling is higher, I think he'd be like a pretty decent SBC to get, to be honest with you. Because his short and lean minus body type is actually kind of nice and stuff, but we have to be honest, guys. Like, it's a fodder card, you know? Him, you know what? No. I'm going to put him over here. That's 100% fodder. These two are close to fodder, but, you know, they're usable in their own ways. But this is a fodder card, let's be honest. Actually, De Tomas. We didn't actually check him out, so I'm actually like super curious now. De Tomas. People are not going to use this card. Let's just talk about this right now. People are not going to use this card, but it's a fodder card. It is. People will use him as a fodder. Average body type 4/4. Yeah, this is a fodder card. People won't use this guy. I'm telling you, people won't. Like Muniain is like, he's teetering. You know, he's teetering out like this because I know that people use him for fodder too. It's funny because, like I said, Canales is definitely fodder too. People use him for fodder, but he's an actual good card in my opinion. Pedri S tier. This card is awesome. I love that Pedri card, guys. Why is Pedri S tier? Pedri is S tier because he has all the right things, right? You give this bad boy an anchor chemistry style, you can use him wherever the hell you want, okay? You can use him wherever you want. It does not matter. You want to use him as your right mid in a 3-5-2, go ahead. You want to use him as a cam, go ahead. Use him as your center mid in a 2 midfield setup, go ahead. 3 midfield setup, go ahead. It doesn't matter, okay? This card was incredible to work with, okay? Absolutely incredible. On the anchor chemistry style, on top of that, with 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot, lean body type with dribbling stats like this, whew. What a card, okay? Absolute beast monster of a card. Rodrygo. We're putting Rodrygo at the A tier, okay? Listen, I know some of you guys play on the old gen console, okay? I know some of you guys play on the old gen console, and I know that he feels a little bit more responsive there. But I want to talk about Rodrygo for the new gen console at the very least, okay? So Rodrygo, I think, is still a good SBC to get. And to be honest with you guys, if he gets the upgrade, would be very nice. What carries this card is 2 things that they gave him. The 2 things that they gave him really, really carries it, but I'm not going to say, I can't say carry it because he does have those things, right? This card in the side position, right? Like I told you guys in the review, with the high medium work rates, 5'9" height at a 5-star skill move, I really like him. I do. I like him a lot. I think he moves across the pitch really nicely. The main things that I will say is that when you give this card, you know, the obvious marksman chemistry style, I don't feel like his dribbling is as responsive. This is new gen, okay? And we're going to be talking about this in a gameplay video at some point in the future, right? And with the dribbling and stuff, because you guys know how I feel about it. But the dribbling doesn't feel as good as it should feel, okay? It doesn't, like, listen to what I'm saying. With the left stick dribbling, it does not feel as good as it should feel. And I played like 20 games with this card. You know, I did them in the review. Cards don't change for me when I review them and then I use them afterwards. Like, I use them exactly how I'm seeing them move on the pitch, right? Great side player position. Like he scored like 3 or 4 goals, which Lambs and Rams, they don't often get too involved in a 4-2-3-1. It's usually your cam and striker, but he actually contributed quite a bit. He was actually really nice to work with there. But yeah, with Rodrygo on a marksman chemistry style, the inclusion of the skill move and the work rate was huge, absolutely massive. The card was definitely a WSBC, regardless of the fact that I don't think his left stick dribbling feels as responsive as it says here, but it's still pretty decent because the 5-star skills, guys, is huge to work with. Okay, you can even see in the 4-2-3-1 video the way that he kind of opens himself up for the other players. You know what I'm saying? Like on the ball, moving with the skills. Very good stuff. Very, very good stuff. But yeah, we're gonna put him at an A tier as well. I'm gonna put Modric. I have to put no. If Modric had the work rates, I'd put him higher. To be honest with you guys, I really would. If he had the work rates, that wasn't a medium, I would actually put him higher. Rodrygo, if he had more response, if the dribbling felt more responsive than it initially felt, then I'd put him higher too. It's a few of these things are like, it pushes him away from being an S tier, in my opinion, right? Vinicius, guys, listen, bro, listen. Go watch the video. I don't have to tell you anything else. This is one of the best players I've used this year, bro. He's one of the best. He's one of the best, dude. This card was doing stuff for me in game where I was laughing, bro. I was laughing because of how responsive he was. Guys, this card is so disgusting, okay? Because when I was using him in game, I'm telling you this right now, I swear he has like all of the attacking AIs in the game. A high-low, a high-medium, a medium-medium. This guy, the way that he wants to involve himself on the pitch is disgusting. You know how I'm putting him next to like Eder Militao, Pedri, and Isco? This card is an S+ tier card, okay? It would be him and Karim Benzema with the high-low work rate. This is an S+ tier card. He is amazing, bro, okay? He's amazing. And this is obvious because obviously when we checked out the card in the beginning of the year, you know, once it got like to the headliners, the player of the month, you know, you can feel it because, listen, this does not happen often with cards, okay? But in the beginning of the year, when it was like the player of the month and stuff, like this card, the fact that the dribbling still felt good with those stats, you were like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember distinctly reviewing, it was this card or the headliners, one or the other, where I was like, you don't really care about his dribbling that much. You don't. You should, but you don't. For some reason, it just works with his lean body type at a 5'9" height. With him, for some reason, it just does the thing, okay? For me personally, you guys know I would always give a marksman chemistry style because then I'm an absolute fiend for life. But you don't have to, you know, like with his card, I swear I gave him like a dead eye if I remember correctly, and I was like, it was fine, you know. So I mean, guys, what is there to say? I mean, take a look at this team of the season card, right? He's 4.4 mil for a reason, let's be honest, okay? Because this card is perfect at everything. And what's great about him is that you give him a marksman and he's actually perfect at everything. Pace, shooting, passing is close. Well, passing is still very good. He's got some physical capabilities with 99 for dribbling for everything at a 5'9" height lean body type, okay? So now that I'm really looking at this list over here, I'm not really against the players that I selected. I'm actually, for me personally, I am content with what I did with this list. You know, a lot of these cards here would definitely be S tier if they felt a certain way for everything. You know, like with Isco as the average white type, I'm telling you guys, bro, like the flashback Isco card in the cam position, oh my, he lets me play football. Go watch the 4-2-3-1 video. I'm telling you guys, he lets you play football and it's awesome. His medium low is so sick. Shooting comes off great. 5-star skills, contributes on the pitch like a monster. He's just, I love him. He's one of my favorite cards I've used this year, 100%. Benzema, I'm gonna cry every single day of the year that they didn't give him a high-low, because if I was making a new list, both Vinicius and Benzema would be S+, bro. They'd be in the S+ tier. But now that I'm looking at this list, guys, I'm really genuinely not against any card that I put here. I'm really not. I think every card that I'm placing in this list, I personally, I'm okay with it. I really am. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm okay with it. With Muniain, Jesus Navas, and De Tomas down, yeah. But these cards are not far off of fodder, by the way, because people are not going to use these two. Let's be completely honest, guys. We're not going to use these two cards, okay? Let's be real right now. But yeah, that's my tier list. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video today. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.